Hello, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing really well, feeling really good. We're finally in September. How are we approaching the end of the year? It's completely wild. I love September. September is just the best month, I think. It gets cozy, but it's still a little bit warm. We still get blue skies, but we also get frost. I just think September is the best. For those of you that are new here, I'm Maisie, I'm 25, welcome to the channel. I am a dog groomer, and today what I'm going to film for you is some things that I'm going to pack for my 9 to 5. So for the past year and a half, I've ran my own business and worked for myself, and earlier this year an opportunity came up where I was able to work in another holistic salon with a stylist that I previously worked with, and we went in for a little chit chat, and I just took the opportunity. I was having some mental difficulties with running a business, and me and Sam also wanted to move out, so being employed was a big bonus, otherwise we would have had to wait a few more years. And for me, my goal was to have my own house over having my own business. So this opportunity came up and I couldn't really say no. They offered me such a good deal. It sounds like the most amazing, lovely place. And I think as humans, it's so important for us. The sun's just come out and it is so bright. As humans, we are social animals, and we spend 80% of our time at work, and 80% of my time was completely alone in a room with no windows, no natural light, no fresh air. And I just think it was not having the best effect on me. So I start my new job this week, and I just wanted to show you guys what I'm going to bring. And this is not going to be relevant for obviously every single person, because not everybody's a dog groomer, but there is some bits and bobs that one thing that I'd probably bring if I didn't work as a dog groomer. I'm not going to show absolutely everything I'm packing because we would probably be here for over a day, but I'm just going to show you some important things that I'm bringing with me into the salon. I want to share some things maybe you guys might not have thought about having in your toolbox as a dog groomer. First item I'm going to show you guys is something that you can take to any 9 to 5, and it was a food flask. I've kind of deconstructed it a moment. So it's quite a wide one. I wanted this because I just didn't want to use a plastic box for my lunch, because firstly, if you use anything with colour, they stain. Secondly, it's not good to have all of our food in plastic. And thirdly, plastic boxes just always leak, don't they? They always leak. So I went for an insulated flask. I like this because if I wanted to use it at a different time for something like a cup of tea, it could probably fit like 2 cups of tea in here. So if there's 2 of us hiking or something, we've got that for that purpose as well. I also just loved it because in the winter, if you want like a hot soup to take to work with you, you can pop it in here in the morning, and then when you open it at lunchtime, it's still going to be warm. It's double insulated, so it can keep food hot and cold. Ooh, it also has a little mirror on the bottom. It comes with a separate little cup as well, so if you want to pour anything out, you've got a little cup too, which I absolutely loved. And the third thing with this was it came with a collapsible spoon, which I thought was absolutely great, and it also stops us taking forks to work and then leaving them at work and never bringing them back, because that fits perfectly into there. Screw that lid on, and this one, and you're good to go. I just thought this was a must-have for me. I always food prep my lunch, so that's just a simple container that's really easy to clean, keep stuff hot and cold. So I thought it was a bit of a no-brainer. It's from Ketan. You can find them on Instagram and Facebook as well. But I got this from Amazon. I'll link absolutely everything below if you want to go have a look. But I just thought that was really handy and perfect for working a 9 to 5 if you want to eat some yummy food. So the next thing I'm going to show you guys is something you may not think to pack into a dog grooming salon. But if you're anything like me, which you probably are if you're grooming every single day, your back's gonna hurt. Your back and your feet are probably gonna hurt at some point, just because all of the positions that we're getting in, they're just very unnatural, and you're repetitive with your movements, and it does cause a lot of strain on the body at the end of the day. So something I've been doing from home is I lower my table down to the floor, Firstly, I'm going to sneeze. I'm sorry about that. Firstly, having your table on the floor gives your dog a lot more freedom. Loads of dogs are actually scared of heights, so being up high on a table just heightens how scary grooming is. So if they're closer to the ground, they have that sense of freedom. If they want to jump down and they want to escape, they can. So I've been grooming on the floor, firstly for that reason, but secondly, because of my back and my feet, honestly, the pain has reduced massively since actually sitting down on the floor and grooming. Don't get me wrong, there's still going to be pain, like it still hurts my shoulders, but the pain has reduced quite a lot. So something that I bought was a little folding stool. I haven't actually opened this up yet. Let's open it now. So I wanted a folding stool, so I'm a little higher than right on the ground, so then I don't have to reach my arms up so high when I'm grooming. But it just, yeah, it's just gonna reduce your pain overall if you've got a little seat and the table's lower down. I would highly recommend, if anyone's grooming alone, to have a table that moves up and down. I really wouldn't recommend having a table that stays at one height. Just invest in that, because you're gonna invest in your own health at the end of the day. So here's a little stool, quite cute. And I thought I could just perch myself on that and groom lower down to the ground. Again, it was from Amazon, so I will link that down below as well. I've said this about 1,000 times and I'll say it again, but the one thing that I use consistently every single day when I'm grooming is a dust mask. You need to use one of these if you're grooming. If you want to protect your health and your lungs, you need a dust mask. The amount of bacteria and dirt and debris you're going to inhale if you don't have a mask on when you're grooming is absolutely disgusting. I personally had quite a lot of difficulty in my first few months of grooming with breathing at the end of the day because of everything that I was inhaling because I wasn't wearing a mask. This year I purchased a dust mask and I have not looked back. So I originally purchased this. I know it seems extreme, but you're literally inhaling damp hair all day long. So I really feel that it's quite important. I purchased this primarily for double coats because working with a double coat, so a dog like a collie, a German Shepherd, a husky, even beagles, like even short-coated dogs, their hair gets absolutely everywhere, especially if you're blow drying. And I was just really struggling with that side of things. So I bought the dust mask primarily for that, and it just made such a difference. I kind of ended up wearing it for the entire time I'm grooming, and it has made such a change to how I work and how I'm feeling at the end of the day. Another nice thing I learned from one of my friends who is a Chinese acupuncturist was suggesting to put an essential oil in the roof of the mask. So just dilute it down and pop some. So she suggested something like eucalyptus or tea tree just to help with your breathing in the environment because it is damp and it's stuffy, and it's worked really nicely. I think even things like Vicks maybe in the winter if you're struggling with breathing could be really nice inside your dust mask. So that's something that I have kind of been implementing on days that is a little bit harder, and I just really like that side of things. I love herbal remedies and the holistic side of healing for both animals and humans. A lot of these things are like safety things. These aren't necessarily my tools. If you want to see my tools, I can show you them, but there is another video that I have showing you a few of my tools. The next thing that's really highly important is your ears. First few times grooming, I was coming home with an absolute banging headache because there is dryers on all day long. The shower is loud, the dogs are loud. It's just a very stimulating environment and it can get really intense at times. Any groomers watching this have probably heard of groomer burnout. Anyone that's not a groomer, it's if you have children or like if you work in a nursery, same sort of situation. Say like you're at a child's party and it's just so loud and it's so demanding, and it just will drain you eventually where there's so much demand on all of your senses. So something else I would suggest is some ear defenders. Groomers do actually come away with, what's that I can't remember what it's called, like tinnitus or something, where you get ringing in your ears. Loads of groomers suffer from that. from the environment that we're in. So a good pair of ear defenders are going to protect your ears all of the time. I also find these really calming. I don't know what it is, but when I have them on, I just feel like I'm in my own little zone. I can get through this. I can deal with the stimulation. So yeah, my ear defenders are massive in the grooming environment. And if I had to teach grooming everything I've just shown you essentially, maybe not the Flask, like that's not essential to grooming, that's more essential to my 9 to 5, but if I taught grooming, all of those things I've just shown you are things I would make essential for the groomers in the environment. I think often we're so cautious about making it safe for the dogs, we're not always making it safe for ourselves. I don't know how many things to show you. I'm looking in my work box, which I've just packed because I'm going to walk up to my new salon, and there's just so many things in here, I don't know what to pick. I think what I'm going to show you next is the hairdryer that I use on nervous dogs or to dry dogs' faces. And I'm obsessed with this hairdryer. It's not a dog grooming dryer, but it has lasted me over a year. Bearing in mind I use this every single day. It has a hot, cold and medium temperature as well as speed. And it just is very, very helpful if you've got a dog that is struggling or a dog that doesn't like his face being dry. What I use is the Babyliss Powerlight Pro. I honestly think this is just from Argos. It's not anything fancy, but this hairdryer is so good. Like I said, 3 settings, and you have an extra cool setting as well, which I really, really like. What I normally do with the dogs is I'll blast them with the blast dryer on a cold heat. And then to finish, so when the coat's like 90% dry, I will go in with the warm heat with this one just to fluff dry. And like I said earlier, if a dog's nervous, I'll use this the whole time because it's quieter. And on faces, I also use this as well. It's just, a dog doesn't really want to be blasted in the face with a blaster, and nor would I. So yeah, this Babyliss Pro Light dryer, don't even know if they still make them, but I'll try and find a link, and if they do, I'll leave it below. But this has been a game changer. I honestly use this every single day without fail. So this has to come with me, whether they have dryers or not. This one's coming with me. The next things I'm gonna show you guys, I have no idea, how many things have I shown you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should we do 10? The next thing I'm gonna show you is something I got sent from the Colin Taylor brand. I was reached out to be an ambassador for the team, and last year they sent out some tools for us to try, and one of them I use constantly, and it's something that I would probably never have kind of invested in because, I don't know, I just didn't think of it. But it's the table extenders. So these hook onto your table, and then you can attach a training lead to that. This is so important to have because if you've only got the loop on your table, a lot of the dogs are going to get strangled if you are using a training lead. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't always use training leads, but when I do, these are very, very helpful. Even if you've got a belly strap to stand a dog up, you can attach this to the top, and then you've got all of these different lengths without moving your table up and down all of the time. If you've been grooming for a while, your table is gonna get a little bit rusty and it's gonna get wear and tear, and it's really hard to move your table neck up and down if it's been sat in the same place all of the time. So having these means you don't have to constantly change the height of your table. You can just clip one of these on and then attach the noose, the training lead on one of the different hooks, and it kind of works with every single dog. So if you've got a really mini, teeny dog, you can put it on the lowest one and its neck's still gonna be protected. So these were from the Colin Taylor range. They do a load of different colors as well, not just pink. I just seem to have all pink equipment for some reason. Okay, so these again are to do with safety, and it's something I've only just started implementing because, like I said, I have a friend who's into Chinese acupuncture. I absolutely love holistic healing. That is like another route that I would love to go down. And she kind of mentioned how toxic the grooming environment can be just because of the stimulation. So like touching different textures, hearing lots of different sounds, inhaling, being damp, do you know what I mean? So she said it could be really important to wear gloves so that our hands are protected from the water, the dryer and the hair splinters, and it's felt so much nicer. So I purchased just some veterinary non-latex gloves, and I've mostly been keeping them on when I'm bathing, and it's just been much nicer. So if you're getting if a dog's coming in, it's covered in dirt, it's got poo stuck to its bum, it's got feces, wee, you don't really want to be touching that with your bare hands. So to have a bit of protection is, one, going to make you feel a lot more hygienic, and two, just going to protect you from any other diseases that can be passed between the dogs and us. So I've just been using these in the bath at the moment, but they are still comfortable to use with my scissors. I've had absolutely no issue. I thought it would be really annoying to scissor with gloves on, but it isn't. It's honestly no issue, and obviously your hair splinters are reduced and it's a lot more hygienic. So I would probably invest in some latex gloves, especially for the really, really dirty dogs. This kind of goes without saying, but it's my hand sanitizer. I use this between every single dog. You don't know what the dog has touched, you don't know if the dog's carrying anything. Hopefully they're not. Most of us will do checks to make sure they're up to date with everything, but you just never know. So a quick hand sanitizer between your dog, it's going to protect you, it's going to protect the next dog, and it's just going to make sure everything is clean and good to go. I've just got the Carex aloe vera one at the moment, which I use all the time. I go through these like no one. Something that I haven't included in this is treats. I do feel treats can really help us in the environment that we're in, but it's just a big debate, I feel. I think we can have treats to enhance a session, and some dogs I literally cannot get through the groom without having a treat as a distraction, a positive distraction. But then there's going to be some dogs that are obsessive over food or protective over food, so if they can sense that in the grooming environment, it then can become a very, very dangerous place. So I just feel like you really have to weigh up the situation if you are going to bring treats into the salon, and you need to really consider what dogs you have in that day, because you don't want to upset anything in the salon. So I don't have any treats with me at the moment, but there is certain dogs that I literally have to have treats with. The very last thing I'm going to show you is the tool I use to create a little donut muzzle, a little teddy bear head. I use this all of the time, and I really feel it's worth an investment. It's a Colin Taylor product again. It's the Half Moon Comb, and I have used this every single day since I bought it. I groom a lot of long-coated cockapoos, poodles, schnauzers, and this brush will pick up every single last hair. It will literally get everything. When you brush the leg, if you've missed one tiny strand, this Half Moon Comb is going to pick it up. So if you are into styling and you want to go down more of a creative grooming route, a finishing comb is going to really enhance the overall look that you can create. I'll link this below. These come in different colours as well. He also does some other ones, so I have a straight one as well, which I normally use for legs and feet, and then I've got an even longer one, but I don't really use that one that much. These two are probably the ones I use the most. But out of all of them, I would say invest in the Half Moon Comb, because it's going to really help you create a lovely round muzzle and a round head. I am obviously taking a lot more with me to the salon than what I've just shown you, but I just thought I would share with you some things that I have learned along the way that have been really useful to my overall experience working as a groomer. And I feel that some of these things aren't things that get brought up. Everyone knows that we need scissors and clippers and blades, but not everyone knows maybe you need a stool to protect your back, or maybe you need a chest mask to protect your breathing. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this and it has been useful to you. If it has, please give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next channel. Let me know what you think and what your thoughts are.